Okay, hi everybody, my name is Barry Schwartz, and this is the Search Buzz video recap. Today is Friday, September 2nd, and this is the search news we covered over at the Search Engine Roundtable at seroundtable.com over the past week. First up, as of this morning, I'm seeing major signs, or very early but significant signs, of a Google update. I'm not sure if it's specific around Penguin or Panda or something core search or whatever Google might call it, but there's definitely a lot of people saying, hey, my rankings have totally died off as of this morning. I'm seeing tons of tweets, tons of threads on the Google search forums, seeing Webmaster World, I'm seeing some of the tools light up and so forth. So here's some of the quotes I've seen, some changes in the UK. Most people obviously in the UK, people on the other side of the world are actually noticing it first because they're up. Now when the US wakes up, they'll probably start noticing it as well. People are tweeting to me, asking me if they saw any changes. Some people aren't, but here's like the tools. Here's this is Cert Metrics showing a significant increase in changes. Alguru showing changes, and so is AccuRanker, which is showing changes. Again, it's very early on. It's very interesting to see these charts, but it seems like there are some very, very, very early signs of a Google update happening as of this morning. I did email Google. Hopefully I'll get a statement from them, but we will see. Talking about Google updates, there definitely seems to be a local results update, a Google local search results update, where the local pack is showing significant changes in terms of what they showed 2 days ago. So the update seemed to happen yesterday with the local results. I reported about it this morning at Search Engine Roundtable. And we're seeing lots of local SEO experts, specifically in the local search forums, Linda's forum, less so in the other forums, talking about these local changes. And by far, it seems like what I'm seeing is that Google has cracked down a little bit on the spam in the local results, and because of that, most of these local SEOs are saying, hey, their local results have changed, most likely because there was some type of quality update in the local results, but it definitely seems to be the case. Those watching live should be able to comment, and I don't know if it will show up. I think it used to show up if you do comment here, and I might be able to actually respond to it, but I think there's about a minute delay on Facebook Live, so it might not be worth it at all. In any event, I'll keep going on, a lot to discuss. Google announced, or didn't actually announce, it just somebody found it, Aaron Bradley I think found it. Yep, Aaron Bradley found it, where Google posted in their developer guidelines information about what they call the Search Live coverage carousel. And I believe this has to do with what Richard from Google at Google I/O announced about Google's real-time index. Because Richard is the man at Google, the top man at Google behind the AMP project, and he spoke about the real-time indexing API as well at the I/O. And this Search Live coverage carousel, which is basically a way to show live results in the Google search results, is powered based off of three things. AMP, which Richard is behind. You need the structured data markup for content for it to show up, which you need for also top news carousel. And three, you need an Atom XML feed so Google will actually get that content in real time. It's a way to feed Google that content. Here's what it looks like happening now. You can see and so forth. I don't think it's live yet. If you want your site to be included, I have a link to it to be included in this. You obviously have to have AMP, you have to have all those three factors, plus you have to have live content for Google to include you and to offer that as an option. So that's definitely something that is fairly interesting. You should definitely take a look at if you are a publisher site and so forth. Google announced for Android apps using Fire-based app indexing, you can now enhance app search in Android specifically for in-app search, specifically around personalized content. Google explained it as saying content from your app can then appear for relevant queries in the Google app on Android in the app tab or in the auto complete suggestions. So you can see it here. You do a search. I'm just going to zoom in there. Do a search, and then up comes these results directly in those results, which is pretty cool. Again, this is called in-app search for Android, and you definitely can take a look at that and learn more about that at the Search Engine Roundtable. What are we up to? Structured data, lots to discuss today. So it looks like the Google structured data testing tool now officially supports Schema 3.1. Brad Brewer was the first to spot this. So if you are using Schema version 3.1, which is the latest version of Schema, you could definitely use the structured data testing tool to actually see if your results are compliant with Google. Google has updated their reviews markup guidelines. So if you are using Google Rich Snippets or Google Schema or structured data for marking up your reviews, Google said they are no longer allowing you to include third-party reviews in the markup. So if you're syndicating third-party reviews from different websites like Trustpilot or whatever it might be, Google's saying you can no longer use markup on those syndicated reviews. You can only use the markup on original reviews left specifically on your website. It specifically says, do not include reviews that are duplicate or similar reviews across many businesses or different sources. Only include reviews that have been directly produced by your site, not reviews from third-party sites or syndicated reviews. There are other updates to the guidelines. I'm not going to get into those, but there's a lot of different things in here in terms of what was updated. But the most significant update was about using third-party reviews and how you can't mark that up, which is a big change for a lot of people and might impact sites like Trustpilot and stuff like and other sites around that. Google said that the interstitial penalty that's coming up for mobile sites is only at the page level, so only pages that have the interstitial will be impacted by that. So that's a good thing to know. It's a page-by-page level specific change. John Mueller talked about Panda a little bit, and he said just because that first major shift in terms of Panda 4.2, whatever it was, that was released took 10 months, and Google said it would take several months, it doesn't mean that every update, again, Google's updating Panda rolling constantly. Updates, rolls out, updates, rolls out, and that's constant every month or so. Google hasn't really confirmed any updates since a year or so. John Mueller said it doesn't mean that every time they roll it, every time they do an update, which is constant supposedly, that it takes 10 months to roll out. Although it probably does, but he said it doesn't mean that. Take that for what you want it to mean. This is interesting. So John Mueller, this is not interesting, just to reiterate, a lot of people who watch this videos are probably new. You cannot, John Mueller says it's the same, he basically said requiring somebody to link, who wants to use your API to link to you as a follow link is against the guidelines. He said this site, which is a walk score API, has a logo and score have follow links to walk score. You have basically to use our API, you have to use a follow link to our web page. And John Mueller basically said, and you can see right over here, he said that's essentially a paid link. So again, Google's guidelines around that is you can't go ahead and give somebody something in exchange for a follow link. It's basically paying for a link. Google's new local pack design, which we reported about a couple weeks ago as being tested, is now fully live. Here's what it looks like. It's a lot bluer. It's a bluer interface, light bluer interface, a little bit cleaner and so forth. So that's now officially live for everybody. Hopefully I can fly through the rest. Google launched the ability within Google My Business. I think you were able to do it in Google Plus previously to add business owners and managers to your local listings. So if you want to give other people access to update the local listings, you could do so within Google My Business by clicking on the navigation and clicking on Manage Users. That's cool. There's other ways to do that. I have a helped article on how to actually manage that. Google My Business also launched a new view to view your local listings. So you have lots of local listings in your Google My Business account. You can click on what's called the Access Map View, which launches this screen, and you can see all the different listings you have with bubbles. The bubbles mean you have multiple listings in that location. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can see that. And you can see this bubble says 142, and you click on it, it will actually bring in all the listings within there. This has 7. This is a specific listing, and when you click on it, it would actually go ahead and let you manage that listing quickly from there. So that's obviously for local SEO experts that are managing multiple businesses. It's a very nice view. This is pretty sad. So William Rock posted, and he basically showed how it looks like a person who passed away in a tragic accident a year or two ago, is now leaving reviews as of this week, negative reviews as of this week on businesses. So it seems like somebody hacked into her account. You can see this is the story from her passing about a year ago on NBC News. And here's a review she left about 3 weeks ago. It looks like hackers are hacking into people's deceased accounts and leaving negative reviews as another local SEO spam tactic. Sad to see. Google AdWords has dropped their Grants Pro program. Grants Pro is basically the AdWords ad grant system, but the Pro level is basically giving you up to $40,000 a month in monthly spend as opposed to $10,000 a month in monthly spend. So the $40,000 a month in monthly spend has gone away. They're no longer, the message Google sent us is the ad grants team is no longer accepting applications for the Grants Pro program as part of a new effort to streamline the program. This update aside, the program will continue to remain open and free to all eligible nonprofits. So the $10,000 program will remain. It looks like the $40,000 program will not. Google responded to people basically saying, if you're upset with the Google Keyword Planner changes, I reported about a month ago, Google restricted access to the Google Keyword Planner for those who have limited things going on in their AdWords accounts to not show them as much data as they used to. And Google said, now, if you are upset by that, no problem. Go ahead and use our forecasting tool, which is in the Keyword Planner. They actually documented how you could use it and export the data and get more data out of it. So that's Google's response to people who are upset about the Google Keyword Planner tool. A new version of the Google Merchant Center is live. It's a new UI. It makes a user interface. It makes things look cleaner. You can take a look at the interface over here. It looks a little prettier, and it gives you a little bit streamlined interface to actually use the Google Merchant Center as well. There's a Google Analytics bug around AdWords campaigns. So if you are using Google Analytics to measure your AdWords campaign and they're linked, it seems to be showing not set for a bunch of Google AdWords users. The campaigns are being set as not set. Google AdWords actually responded on Twitter to a bunch of people saying our technical team is currently investigating this and will update you as soon as we have more information. I don't think it's been updated yet, but if you are seeing that problem, it's not just you, so do not worry, Google's working on it. Google AdWords added account level site links. So no longer do you need site links on the specific campaign level. You can actually do it on the account level, which makes things a little bit easier and lets you have account site links across more accounts faster. Google has updated their feed rules for the Merchant Center. Feed rules is basically a way to streamline what shows up in the Google Merchant Center based on different rules, and Google has actually added more flexibility to that, these three things specifically, which I'm not going to get into because we've been going pretty long already. And finally, the Google AdWords report editor has added an additional data points, which you could actually do more reporting in with the Google AdWords report editor as well. In any event, thanks so much for listening to the Search Buzz video recap. This is the past week of search news we covered over at the Search Engine Roundtable. Today is Friday, September 2nd. Everyone have a great week. And again, all those news is posted at the Search Engine Roundtable at seroundtable.com. See you guys next week. Bye.